Well, hello everyone. I hope you're doing okay, healthy, that you're safe. I hope you had a good spring break, even though you can't really go anywhere. Hopefully you went somewhere. Hopefully you got out of the house and did something that was fun. Hopefully your work is going okay. You're able to do your schoolwork all right. I hope you got the last assignment done in this class, which was the div tags. That's the assignment that I want to talk about a little bit. I wasn't able to tell you anything about the div tags. I just gave you the assignment. I had a video that showed you exactly how to do it, and hopefully you got it done. When that happens, when I give that video that shows exactly how to do it, I don't know if you're understanding it, and so I wanted to have make this video so that I can talk about div tags and what the purpose of them is. And so I'm going to go back to that assignment, and in fact the next assignment this next assignment is going back and using one of the layouts for the divs and adding to it. And in fact, we need to know divs really well and the purpose of it, because that's an important thing that we're using from now on. So let me show you a couple things. You might recognize this. Hopefully this is from the previous assignment before spring break. This is div layout 3. This is the one we're going to use, but I'm going to go to W3 Schools and show you a common layout. Divs are all about the layout of the page, the web page. Up until this point in the class, in our code on our pages, we've only done content or added content top to bottom, left to right. And the only thing that we change about the layout is in what order, top or bottom, or above or below, where we put the content. So I want to show you a couple things about layouts, and then we're going to use divs from now on. So this is a common layout right here of a web page, and it's got 5 different dividers, different sections. And this was our layout 3 that I had you create, and it looks like this. So we added background colors, some pretty crazy colors, and we would never do this on a website really, just because that would be a crazy looking website. Typically websites are white in the background, but they have these dividers, these sections to divide up the content. And so typical layout is this right here. So if I click try it yourself, I already have, here it is. Here is kind of a little sample of what content would be there and why. So I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to scroll down a little bit to show the divs, the different sections, the different dividers, divs, and show you a little bit about the purpose. So typically this section up here is the title section or the header section. This is where we have our title of the page, and so it introduces the page. And then we have the one on the left. This is typically for a menu. Okay, so we have links here that it's a menu to go to different pages, and we haven't done that yet. And then right in the middle is usually the main content of the page. So we have a main div, it's a little bigger than the rest. That's where the main information goes. And then on the right side we have a list of information, or whatever we want over there. And really we can make this layout however we want, put whatever we want on there. But this is just typical. And then on the bottom div is the footer div, where we usually have some information about the website or about the company. That's the footer div. So we're going to add for this next assignment just a few different some content in a few different divs, okay, just to see what it's all about. But let me show you how this is done so you understand it, hopefully. So the divs, they're sections, and it's a div tag. It's an opening div like this right here, and it's just got style inside of it, and then a closing div like this right here. And then inside of that divider is the content. Okay, so they put a header, an H1 for a header, and it makes it this big, and they just put a word in there, or a phrase. So they've got content in there. The next one is a menu, and it's actually a div inside of a div. We're not going to get to that for a while, or well, a couple weeks. So I'm going to go to the middle one right here, and this div has got an H2, so it's a little smaller header, and then it's got a paragraph, so it's got the information, and then you could have pictures and whatever other content. This is the main content of the website in this third div right in the middle here. Fourth div, it's pretty typical to have just a little bit of information out there, ads, a list. We're going to put a list out there, and then we won't worry about the bottom div for now, the footer div. But this is a pretty common layout, and it's just all about putting content inside the divs. And so if it's inside the divs, it's going to be nested, and then it's going to show up only, it's going to be contained to that section, okay, wherever you put it. So that's what divs are all about. It's just having the content inside of the divider tags. And the divider tags divide up the different sections. One thing I wanted to mention also, whoops, I'm going to go back to the HTML. So we added a color just so we could see it, but like I said, typically it's white in the background, but we got to have the sizes. This float, I never explained that, and that's a little strange, but the float allows us to stack, let's see, sections side by side. So if we don't have the float, the different sections will just go top to bottom. Watch, if I just take these out real quick, I'm just going to take out the value, then there won't be any floating going on. If I take these out and save it, and then go back to the browser and refresh that browser. Okay, so now I can scroll down. Look, they're all stacked on top of each other. They don't go side by side. Okay, and so by default, in the code, if we have a section, even though this section is only 25% wide of the browser, the width of the browser, 25%, it does not allow anything to go up in this area by default. This one's 50% wide, there's nothing on the other half. This one's 25%. So nothing can fill in this area up here until we float it. If we float it left, it clears out this area for something. If it fits, it will fill in that area. So you can float right and it will stick it over here on this side. I typically almost always just float left, float everything left, and that clears this area. So that's the purpose of the float. I just wanted to mention that. The next assignment is to add content to the divs, just like it's showing here, W3 Schools. You're just adding certain bits of content inside the div tags. And so hopefully that makes sense. It's just dividing up the content on the page. I'll have you put a little content, and then that's it. Save the content inside the divs, and that's the assignment. So hopefully that makes sense. Please let me know if you have questions on things, and email me. My teacher email is on the homepage of Canvas. That's the best way to reach me. So good luck with everything, and I hope we'll be able to see each other again in a few weeks and get back in class and finish out the year. So good luck. We'll see you.